It's here, a new boost to Social Security and Medicare that just hit yesterday. Now, I reported this to you live as soon as it came out, but just in case you missed it, take a look at this video footage. It started with this interview yesterday on Face the Nation with Kevin McCarthy. Take a look.
Are you willing to consider any reductions to Social Security and Medicare?
No, let's take those off the table.
Completely.
Yeah. I mean, if you read our commitment to America, all we talk about is strengthening Medicare and Social Security. So, and I know the president says he doesn't even want to look at it, but we've got to make sure we strengthen those.
Now, let me know your thoughts. That is a pretty dramatic flip from what we've been hearing the past couple of weeks, as we have heard that in the debt ceiling negotiations, Social Security and Medicare were on the chopping block for funding cuts. But now we heard Kevin McCarthy say, no, we're taking those off the negotiating table. As a matter of fact, he said he wants to strengthen them. He said that is something that the president is not willing to do. Well, wow, let me know your thoughts. But we got the thoughts of the White House, as take a look at this. Articles rolling out right after that interview. The White House blasts Kevin McCarthy for his comments on strengthening Social Security and Medicare, saying, what are you talking about? And take a look at this, the tweet that came out from the president after this interview, where he said Americans have paid into Social Security and Medicare every single paycheck since they were 16 years old. I'm strengthening these programs, not Kevin McCarthy. And if a piece of legislation lands on my desk that wants to gut them, I'll veto it. So, man, it is just flipped now, as we're hearing Social Security and Medicare are going to be strengthened. They're going to be enhanced. And we're having both sides of the aisles fighting over who's going to be the one that's going to do it. Who's going to get the credit for enhancing and increasing Social Security and Medicare. So a pretty big flip, as I've been getting a lot of messages from people collecting retirement, SSI, SSDI, Medicare that have been very concerned about funding getting cut for these programs. And now they're saying, nope. The opposite is going to be unfolding now. I've let you know, we've heard 2023 was going to be the year of Social Security reform, and it sure is shaping up to be that way. And there have been 3 major bills last year that hit in Congress to reform the entire system, enhance the benefits by $200 per month, change the way taxation is provided so that way it can fund the programs, and calculate the COLA so that way it's based on CPIE, not CPIW, to correctly meet the needs of recipients. So there is a lot unfolding, and at this very moment, I've let you know there's been information leaked in Congress that Bill Cassidy and Angus King, they are working on another bill as well to change the way Social Security is funded. So there's a lot unfolding. So I'm going to keep you guys up to date, but right now I'm going to dive into these articles, put them on the screen, read right from them, show you the footage so you can see it for yourself and see that as of yesterday, there has been an entirely new boost to Social Security and Medicare that's likely going to be coming here very soon. So I'm going to dive into the details. If you appreciate the updates, do me a quick favor, smash the like button before we dive in, hit subscribe to stay up to date. Stick with me throughout this. I'm going to give you all the latest updates. But with that being said, you guys, let's take a look at what's happening with Social Security.
We should balance our budget. So I want to look at every single department. Where can we become more efficient, more effective, and more accountable?
So more efficiencies in Social Security and Medicare as well.
The one thing I want to take, we take Social Security and Medicare off the table. I mean, if you read our commitment to America, all we talk about is strengthening Medicare and Social Security. So, and I know the president says he doesn't even want to look at it, but we've got to make sure we strengthen those.
So Kevin McCarthy is saying that they're going to be strengthening Social Security programs, unlike President Joe Biden in the White House, and that it is off the table for cuts. Take a look at this article that came out right after that. The White House blasts McCarthy for comments on strengthening Social Security and Medicare. Now, the article says the White House hit back after Speaker Kevin McCarthy said that he wants to strengthen Medicare and Social Security, arguing on Sunday that the House GOP leader and his conference actually want to slash spending on the entitlement programs. McCarthy said in an interview on CBS's Face the Nation earlier Sunday morning that he wants to take cuts to Medicare and Social Security off of the table in the talks with Democrats over the debt ceiling, even though Republicans do want commitments on spending cuts in general. So he's saying in general, we need to cut back on the spending. Instead, McCarthy said Republicans were committed to strengthening these programs. Now, the strengthening of entitlement programs laid out in the Republicans' commitment to America is vague. One of the legislative recommendations made in the plan is that Congress must be prepared to make reforms to extend the solvency of the entitlement programs. And I've let you know that there is insolvency right around the corner. They have got to figure out a way to provide additional funding to these programs, because if not, we're hearing that all Social Security recipients across the board by the year 2035 will only be able to receive 80% of their benefits. The White House rebuked the speaker's claims, saying on Sunday that Republicans have wanted to cut earned benefits for years. For years, congressional Republicans have advocated for slashing earned benefits using Washington code words like strengthen, when their policies would privatize Medicare and Social Security, raise the retirement age, or cut benefits. White House spokesperson Andrew Bates said in an email statement, House Republicans refuse to raise revenue from the wealthy, but insist they will strengthen earned benefits programs. The White House argues that the only option for the GOP to save the entitlement programs is to make cuts, as House Republicans have ruled out raising more revenue from tax increases on the wealthy. But McCarthy was adamant that Social Security and Medicare would be off of the table in conversations around the debt limit, which are taking place right now. McCarthy is set to meet with President Joe Biden on Wednesday of this week. So in a couple days, they're going to be discussing all of this in a much anticipated get-together between the two leaders. So in this meeting between Kevin McCarthy and President Joe Biden, they're going to be discussing how it is that they're going to be able to increase the debt ceiling, because as you guys know, we have hit the max. The debt ceiling has been reached, and it is only a matter of time before we default. They're saying sometime around June. So they need to increase this before that time, and they're going to be discussing Social Security and Medicare and how to strengthen these programs. And we're going to be seeing what unfolds, because as I mentioned, there have been several different programs or bills that have been provided in order to reform and change the entire system. One of which, by far, one of the most popular ones, is presented by Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, known as the Social Security Expansion Act, that would enhance benefits for recipients by $2,400 for the year or $200 per month, which would make good on President Joe Biden's promise that he would do this. Now, it would also, they're saying, extend the solvency by 75 additional years, change the way taxation is done to provide additional funding, and like I said, also change the COLA calculations from CPIW to CPIE. These are just some of the changes that have been suggested. There's also the Social Security 2100 Act, several other bills, and we will see which one gains traction, and we're likely going to be seeing some of these pick up in 2023 as they need to reform the entire system. Now, let me know your thoughts. I know I've heard a lot of people message me on Instagram and here on YouTube saying that SSI, SSDI, the benefits they collect, it is simply not enough. We've also heard warnings of new taxation coming, because a lot of people, they increased their benefits, but they did not increase the tax caps. And in addition to that, food benefits, we're hearing, are going to be running out. Pandemic food benefits are coming to an end. A lot of people are going to be losing hundreds of dollars, and it's not keeping up with the increase that was provided in Social Security. So regardless of what unfolds, you guys, I will keep you up to date here on the channel so that way you can know. But what we're hearing is, as of yesterday, there's been an entirely new boost to the move to strengthen Social Security and Medicare. Now, if you want to hear the latest about what we know so far about the agreement being put together between Angus King and Bill Cassidy in Congress, we don't have all the details yet, but some has been leaked out. This is the latest information coming out as of this week. Be sure to check out this video right here as I cover the latest details for you. And like I said, as more unfolds, I'll keep you guys up to speed on everything so you know what's available for you and your family. And if you appreciate that, don't forget, smash the like button, subscribe, check out this video right here. And if you want a comprehensive list of all the stimulus checks available across the nation on every level, states, cities, counties, check out my website at www.reliefroadmap.com if you're interested. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.